Thank you so much for taking the time to like sit down and chat with me. We just want to like highlight your small business because Asian Pacific American Heritage Month is next month. So we want to like highlight Teochew businesses and like Teochew people and stuff. So
Cool.
yeah, we're excited.
Me too. Thank you. I appreciate you
Yeah,
guys always involving me in the conversation.
of course, you're like our role model, like our celebrity role model. Okay, so what made you want to start your business? We know you have like a little donut shop going on.
Yeah, so the business that I have right now, DK's Donuts and Bakery in Santa Monica, it was actually passed down from my parents. And it really, like when I was younger, I was like, I don't think I'm going to take over the donut shop. I think I'm going to actually pursue journalism and communication. I actually wanted to be a news reporter. But after actually going and interning during my senior year of college and actually like experiencing what it was like to be a news reporter, I actually just backed out and was like, actually, no, I don't want to do that. And luckily, I was able to have our family business to really fall back on, even though like first choice, it wasn't my first choice. But actually, going to UCSD and doing communications, I actually started to learn a lot more about communications and business and marketing. And so I really applied that when I came back from college and was able to really just go ahead and like take the business to a whole new level, which is like something that I never expected myself to do. And yeah, I think like the passion for the business actually was really driven by people, like interacting with people, the community, and the difference that I can make with the philanthropic things that I've implemented with the business as well. And honestly, I'm such a foodie. I love being creative in the kitchen. So it's definitely been a creative outlet for me to just experience with fun textures and flavors.
That sounds so much fun. I actually wanted to like start my own business too because I like cooking and like experimenting on my own.
Mhm. You should definitely do it.
Yeah, maybe my little side business in the future.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next question is there anything specific you want to like highlight about your business that you want like other people to know, you want to promote it?
Yeah, so specifically, um, so DK's Donuts and Bakery is open 24 hours of the day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So we see so many amazing UCLA kids come in actually like at midnight or during finals week where they need coffee or they just need to like escape and award themselves. So definitely want to promote that. When I stepped into DK's Donuts, I added, custom letter donuts that could spell out different messages. So you could send them to your friends for their birthdays or to your parents and wish them, the message in a different type of way. We also have Texas sized donuts, which are just giant donuts, like bigger than my face, that you can order. And we do those in certain other shapes and sizes as well. I also have a donut bouquet delivery service, which is under Donut Princess LA. You can definitely order on donutprincessla.com, but it's basically 6 different donuts arranged. And we even have like a graduation bouquet and we also have like a birthday bouquet. But just like really to let people know that I wanted to take donuts to a whole new experience. And I wanted to make it really easy for people to be able to access that, whether that they're like here in LA or they're elsewhere. So, I mean, most of that. I also have a podcast called Short and Sweet, a Donut Princess podcast, where I talk about women empowerment, small business tips, and also about mindset. So, having people listen to it and leaving comments actually really helps me structure the next episodes. And at the moment too, I'm starting a new business. It's a luxury and economy car rental business. So if you are, doing Uber or Lyft, or if you just need a car for a week or for a day, I'm renting out the cars in my fleet. And so we are having our economy cars for like working people, but we're starting to exotic cars next. So if you guys need a car, definitely hit me up. And it's definitely like I think a little bit less expensive than going through like a car rental service.
Wow, you have like so many things going on. on top of your business? How do you like manage it all?
Well, I think for me, to really manage everything, it's, about training people and being able to, have the business run while you're not there. But also being there to kind of like fortify and make sure things are still running the way it should be. For me, stay pretty organized. I have like morning routines and constantly just like, glued to my calendar, glued to what I need to do, and really just putting my effort and staying really focused, and also staying really grounded and true to why I'm doing everything.
Mm. Do you have like little self-care tips to like remind yourself to stay motivated?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Like self-care has been something that I think actually through COVID taught me that self-care is really important. So a few of my self-care things that are like daily is like I meditate every day for 10 minutes, I journal, and I have like dedicated hours where I spend like for myself. I also work out really early in the morning just
Oh,
so that I can have like such a strong start to the day. Those three things I do every day. And then like to really decompress, because sometimes things can get pretty stressful, I
mhm.
will go ahead and like take a bath, or like I'll catch up with a friend, or I'll just go on a walk where, it's kind of just something to do like that's not at the computer or not to my phone or not at the shop, and just really giving myself like the permission to have that time for myself, because mental health is important, physical health is important.
Yeah.
Having multiple businesses is great, but if you don't have balance, like how are you going to have your health to enjoy that? And that's always been my motto. It's like make sure that, I am scheduling time off before I schedule my time to work.
Yeah, that's super inspiring how you can like have time to like grind, but then also come back to the family, to yourself, and just do what you need to do to take care of yourself because being a business owner is hard. I don't know how y'all do it. Like there's so many things to like keep track of, people to manage. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty stressful, but I would say it's really fulfilling. It's really
Yeah.
great to like have your own thing, your own company. It's great to work for, bigger companies, but you're always going to be working for someone versus working for yourself.
Mm. Do you ever get like or let me see. Is there a way you like find more like inspiration in your business?
I really get my inspiration for my business through like traveling and just like being in a totally different place and experiencing what life is like there.
Mhm.
During the pandemic, I was taking more like road trips. But I feel really inspired by even just like the people around me, like I have tons of different friends who do all different things. They're really successful, and just gathering inspiration from that as well.
What does it mean to like carry on this tradition? Because I know like your parents started the donut shop first. So what does that mean to you and your family?
To carry on DK's Donuts in the tradition, it means so much to my family. They are, for the first time ever, they're like, we're so proud of you, versus like when I was younger in school, they wouldn't really ever say that. If they saw a B, they'd be like, like, why isn't this an A? It's like a constant, like, oh my God, like what's happening? But nowadays, my for me, what it means is like we get to like keep this like family jewel with us, and we get to constantly enjoy the fruits of our labor. And the whole community knows us. Like I'll go in Santa Monica and people will definitely like recognize me. They'll be like, oh my God, are you the donut princess? Like I've seen you. And like it's really fulfilling and really great that we have this business in our family.
Mhm. Like you sort of like built yourself an identity in your community almost. Like everybody recognizes you when they see you on the streets. Like you can feel safe because everybody knows DK Donuts.
Yeah,
Nice supportive space to have.
very, very supportive.
What do you want to say to like all your fans out there who've supported you throughout the years?
I love my fans. I love my community. Like it is like I couldn't have done it without you guys, you know? Like there have
Mhm.
been so many times like where I didn't feel supported and like right now, like I just feel so grateful that, I have a really strong community behind me, whether that be the people who come to DKs, the people who've read my story or seen the documentary, or even just my friends. I'm just so grateful that they all like believe in me because it definitely keeps me going and keeps me motivated to really like make more impact in this world.
What would you say was like your biggest struggle going into like the donut business or industry? And like, how did you overcome it?
I would say the biggest struggle would be to implement changes while my parents are very old school. So, it's like little battles that you have to like choose your battles wisely. But I feel like that was the biggest struggle is like trying to implement something that I know is really great for the business, only to have them be like, no, this is not going to work. And then sometimes me trying it anyways, or me just like, letting go of the idea. I feel that I have a ton of ideas, but I'm kind of limited in terms of like the space as well. So that's my biggest thing is just like trying to convince my parents of like what is trendy or what would do really well, and always trying to like rephrase the whole conversation so it makes sense to them and so I can get the thing that I want to do like push through.
So you had to put like extra energy just to like convince them and then actually try out the idea to see if it works.
Yep.
The extra, like extra struggle.
Extra struggle.
I get that though. Like my parents, they're so hard to like convince sometimes.
Mhm.
But like I had to just kind of like be rebellious when I was growing up so that they could know like, oh, okay, like she's not gonna listen to us, so we just have to like let her. You know what I'm saying? Like little
Yeah.
by little, they're like, okay, we can't really do anything about that.
Yeah. I mean, I think especially like being of Ditchu's descent, it's like I think that the way that Teochew people would raise their kids is like very, very strict,
Mhm.
very, very protective, and very much so in these male and female roles where
Yeah.
like the girl can't do a lot of things, like the guys can have more freedom. And so like even being born into being Teochew, like you have to kind of like understand like that in itself is an uphill battle because we're in a totally different country and our parents have just experienced so many different things along the way.
Mhm. Yeah, sometimes I kind of forget like all the trauma that they went through at the in the Khmer Rouge, and like I just have to like think back and like calm myself down and give them a little bit of sympathy because they did go through a lot. So it's like I want them to understand, but also I want to be empathetic for them. It's like a constant like balance too.
Yeah, most definitely. But I think with that, like when talking to your parents, like sometimes what helps me is like just taking a big deep breath like before and
Mhm.
just like being like some I think, when you get older, you start to actually see your parents as your friends. And it takes like a quite a long time of years to get to that, but like eventually they'll come around. And when you get to explore this new relationship with them where they're not like this scary like parental or just like this nagging parental, you'll
Mhm.
understand that at the end of it, like all they want to do is like for you to be safe and protected. And it's just the way that they express it that it sometimes doesn't make sense for us because number one, like we're educated, number two, like they've gone through a lot of different things, and number three, they're probably just basing it off of how their parents raised them. But this is a totally different world. And so I think with our parents, we just have to be a little bit patient, empathetic, and just sometimes they just want to vent and you just have to listen.
Mhm. Yeah, I totally agree. Like what you said about like that transition period where they kind of become your friend. I think I'm kind of there with my mom. And I thought like I would never be there because like when I
Mhm.
was younger, I was always like yelling at her and being like bratty and stuff. But then now it's like I kind of like want to hang out with her. Like I get excited to see her. Like she's my friend. And when we like are together, we get to do like stuff that I would do with my friends and stuff. So it's like nice to have that like relationship.
Yeah, and even like now it's like you should cherish like every minute that you have with your parents because they
Mhm.
don't have like forever on the earth with us. And
Yeah.
just understanding like if I think like when we were children, we're like, oh, our parents are gonna be here forever. But then
Mhm.
as you get older, you're like, okay, wait, actually, like they're not gonna be here forever. So I need to
Like
actually
older.
about like how I'm treating them. I also urge like, did you people like my age or your age, like it's up to our generation to start documenting their stories. And if that's like even like a freaking like Google Doc of just like what happened, and getting a little bit more curious about their story, I think it'll have people, number one, like understand a little bit about yourself, but number two, like, so you have something for the next generation when you have kids and you're like, oh, like what did grandma do or what did grandpa do? And you definitely want an answer, like I think that as you get older and you become an adult, like that curiosity is so essential to preserving our culture of like the already kind of like destroyed like historical like artifacts that we have. Like my mom and grandma, like unfortunately they couldn't really pass anything down for me because they lost everything in the Khmer Rouge. Like my grandma had to like bury photographs in the ground when the soldiers came and just like had to come back and try to find it later. Or like like I have a lot of like friends who aren't Asian and they're like a fourth generation or fifth generation. And like, they're like, oh yeah, like, my grandma passed down like her earrings to me, from my great great grandma. And I'm like, that's really nice. Like, my grandma had to use that to survive, like to trade so that she could get more rice or like be transported over to like the border. So it's like, I feel like we should always be leaving something for the next generation.
Mhm. Is there a way, or like, have you tried to talk to your grandma in the past to kind of hear her story and document it?
I have, but my grandma's like 91 right now, and she's like kind of at the point where like she's forgotten a lot.
Yeah.
So I do end up asking my uncles and just trying to like gather more information. I'm currently working on a book for my mom. I'm on chapter 4. And really just to document like exactly what happened to her and during the Khmer Rouge, so that not only will my future predecessors understand what happened, but also that people can understand our story as like did you Cambodian people, like they need to know like what happened, and it definitely gives them this new perspective.
Hmm. Yeah, I've only got to like ask my mom and like my dad during like class projects and stuff. And then I hear like a little bit here and there on my own time, but I haven't like really documented it all in like one page. I should
Mhm.
really do that so that like I don't.
Yeah, just do it and like, just start off with a few questions and other questions will come up, like
Yeah.
it's just like their story.
Hmm. What else should I ask you? Is there anything else you want to add or talk about? We could talk about anything.
I started this TikTok called Digi Daily, which I like discuss and talk about like Digi words. I've been a little bit busy this past few weeks, so I haven't posted, but I'm hoping to get back and doing like a daily Digi word or phrase.
Uh-huh.
And I just want people to know that that's like one reference that they can have. Like if you're did you and like, you use TikTok, like go ahead and like, subscribe and follow it and keep it alive, practice it.
Yeah, that's awesome. How's your like Teochew now? Or like how do you practice?
I practice with family or if I have a digi friend around, but that's pretty rare.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's how I practice. When I'm with my mom and she's like saying like digi words to me when she's haggling, or when we're out and she's like giving me directions, like that's when I practice. And I think that like as I was younger, thankfully I lived with my grandma and that's all she spoke, so I was able to really preserve it. Whereas I feel like a lot of like other people in my generation, they don't have like people to speak with, so it starts to like fade away, which I feel like my Teochew is pretty good. It
Yeah.
might sound a little American, but yeah, I still got the core words there.
That's all that matters. Yeah, I used to live with my grandma and my grandpa before they passed away. And like I would always like practice to them too. But then now that they're both passed and like both of my parents know English, it's kind of harder to like keep practicing talking in Teochew. So I try to like talk to my mom in Teochew. Like when we hang out, I'll just randomly start talking in it the entire time. And she's like, what the heck? Like, why are you talking in Teochew? Like, I know English and stuff, but that's like my only way to like conversate and like practice out
Yeah.
loud.
I started this like clubhouse room where we had like almost like 50 Digi people in there, like from all over the world who was like randomly speaking to each other in Digi. So it's like pretty cool to hear and all the different accents too.
Wait, where was this?
It's on Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. What's that?
Clubhouse is an app where it's like invite only. I can actually invite you if you want. I have a few invites left. And you basically can join rooms where it's an audio only and you get to like speak and talk. But yeah, I had one and I posted it in the Gakinan group
Mhm.
and we had a pretty big turnout. So hopefully to do that again sometime soon.
Oh, you're on the Gakinan group on Facebook too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds fun. I want to join next time.
Yeah, email me your number and I'll invite you via your number. Do you have an iPhone?
I have an Android.
Okay, it's Android. It's iPhone only right now, but I think they're gonna expand it to
Oh, dang, they're excluding us.
yeah, unless you have an iPad or something.
Oh, yeah, I do. Maybe I can use that instead.
Maybe.
What do you talk about when you're on there?
On Clubhouse, I've definitely been like panelists about talking about the Asian American experience, whether that be like how I was raised or my
Mhm.
heritage. I did the Digi Room. Sometimes I talk about like social media and marketing, content creation, business rooms. I mean, there's so many different rooms on there, and then it kind of just depends on what I feel like participating in.
Oh, so it's more like somebody's like panelist or like lecturing.
There's a bunch of different rooms and different schedules. So you can like join in on this day and hear about this, or you can like start your own room and invite people to come in.
Oh, that's cool. So everybody just got to like talk to each other and Teochew.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's so rare when I hear like so many people talking Teochew at once because I only hear it like at my house.
Yeah.
Where
You
am
sh-
I? I get
yeah. You should
confused.
definitely go to like the South China region, like Shantou, and
Oh,
you'll go and like your Dichu will even be like, people will be like, what? What are you saying? Because it's like so different.
oh no. I'd be so like embarrassed. Have you gone there?
Yeah, I have. And like I could understand a lot of people, but when I spoke, it just has this like American accent. So they didn't really understand.
Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have like more Cambodian Teochew accent. Versus
Mm,
like my friends, they have like Vietnamese Teochew accent, and I don't know what they're saying sometimes.
yeah.
It's like your accent is super strong. I can't understand. Okay, I know you have to go soon, so I don't want to take too much time, but I don't really have any other questions unless do you celebrate AFAM in any way?
Asian Pacific Heritage Month.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be celebrating actually the Donut King, which is the documentary about my family, is going to be released on PBS. So
Wow.
yeah, so I'll be actually celebrating all month long. I'm gonna be doing like lives with different audiences in like New Mexico and like Milwaukee, and
Mhm.
we just have a ton of things on the roster. Um, I mean, to celebrate that, I mean, I celebrate that like all the time, like especially when we do like celebrations like Chinese New Year or like Chinese Halloween, which is like, it's called like Chikwit Boa, where you like respect like all your, ancestors, the ones who have passed on.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, that's just something that I think feel like I'm really glad that there's a month dedicated to that. And I'm excited to, be at the forefront and to speak on behalf of like my Asian American community and represent.
Yay! Oh my God, that's so awesome. I can't wait to see it on PBS. I watched it once, but I want to watch it again.
Yeah, yeah. Stay tuned because it'll be aired. I'm not sure exactly, but I'll have to get back to you on that. But it's starting in May because we're doing all these screening like live things.
Okay, cool. We'll definitely be on the lookout for that and look out for all of the little projects that you've been up to. And we're excited to like feature you. We're gonna like create like a little video at the end with like all the interviews and stuff and like
Yeah,
we post it on our YouTube and Instagram.
cool. Sounds good.
Thank
Well,
you
thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Yeah,
Talk to
thank
you
you.
soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.